Well, hello there, Snow Disciples, and welcome to the Snow Church for Thursday, February 16th. I'm your host, Rev Snowflake, coming to you from beautiful downtown scenic Jacobsville, Michigan, on the shores of Lake Superior. And today's snow shot comes to us from some place that I've been many times. So many times I can't even count them. But this is the first time I've used it as a snow shot. This is I-39 and Racine Avenue in Janesville, actually. If you were going from, say, the Lake Geneva area up to the UP and you didn't go the Milwaukee way, you went up through Madison and Wausau and Eagle River and thereabouts, this is the on-ramp you would take, and in about 30 minutes or so you would be at Madison. And we could probably stay on this for another 5-6 minutes and witness some kind of horrific crash. I swear, I don't know what it is about this interstate, but I have seen many. One time driving home from, or driving down to Wisconsin, encountered a snow event. It was largely over by the time we got down there, and maybe about 5 or 6 inches of snow. And I started counting cars in the ditch, and I had to stop counting when I got to 100 because I just thought it was a little bit too ridiculous. And the snow, or the tricky road conditions, only started at Stevens Point. So from Stevens Point to before where I got off on like Highway 11 south of Janesville, or at Janesville, over 100 cars on the ditch. Go, yay, good job. That's just nuts. I don't know. I was dumbfounded as to how so many. I could see one, couple, but 100 vehicles. So anyway, that's my story, and I don't have to see about getting out of this. All right, there it is. Oh, by the way, if you go to this 511 Wisconsin Gov, you get all these cameras that you can choose from. I'll scroll out like that. It gives you lots and lots of cameras. I don't really know why you'd need this many cameras unless, obviously the state uses it to maybe keep track of where there may be accidents and stuff like that. But it seems like a bit of an overkill, if you ask me. But I digress. All right. Let's just go to the current conditions right now. And it is showing that band of snow into Janesville, just really about a dusting or so now, but it will snow throughout the day today. I know that yesterday I was saying that the lion's share of the snow was going to be coming overnight into the first half of today. Really, it's more like most of today into tonight that the snow will be falling. So if you woke up to not that much and you were expected to have snow in yesterday's forecast, fear not. You are going to get some snows. In fact, you can see that they are in the process of getting themselves organized. Some of this is not even reaching the ground just yet. This is the snowfall outlay over the last 24 hours. And we can see how some areas in Nebraska did quite well, and even is extending into southwestern Iowa. Also some lake effect snows in the UP. Now, reports from, say, the Houghton and Hancock area was about an inch and a half. I had only a dusting down here in Jacobsville, but it looks like maybe a couple of inches in the lake snow belts from Ironwood on Toboggan. Getting into the models now. We do have an interesting forecast. We've got this system to deal with, and then a fairly quiet period for Friday and Saturday, and then a little bit of light snow possible in the far north Sunday and maybe Monday. And then if memory serves me, it's by Tuesday. Anyway, the 22nd and the 23rd, both models now have jumped onto the idea of a significant winter storm for the northern Midwest, 22nd and 23rd. I'll get to that in just a minute. Also talk about some of the amounts and whatnot, but here we go with this storm here. You can see how the models have done a pretty good job because this is almost this time right now. So it picked up on the delay of the snow, and you can see how it spreads out through the day. This is tomorrow at about 7 a.m. Eastern time. It's not quite done. A little bit more snow in a few spots, but let's call it donezo at about 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we can actually zoom in a little bit on that so that we can see the exact amount. Where is my Midwest? There it is. All right. There we go. So you're talking about 7 inches, 8 inches or so in this area. I know those totals are down from back when I was saying at least 8 inches. It's the way weather forecasting goes, folks. You got to stay on top of the latest model data and roll with the changes. There are absolutely no promises when it comes to forecasting the weather. We do the best we can, but we can't make promises because what are we doing? We're forecasting the future. All right, so this is the European model's prognostication of what would happen. We're going to jump back to the continental United States and get up to that point there with the slider. Okay, so then here we are, gone through Friday, Saturday, and then here comes Sunday's little bit of light snow across the Northwoods. And then we're going to watch Tuesday's, well, it's not really Tuesday, it's actually Wednesday, Thursday, I'm sorry, because Wednesday's the 22nd. But there is a little bit of snow on Tuesday here and actually up into the upper Great Lakes. But then this is when it gets really exciting. Watch the Dakotas, Minnesota, eventually Wisconsin, the UP, northern and lower Michigan. Watch what happens. See that? Ooh. Nice little storm. Nice little storm develops. Look at that. Rapid City, 27.2 inches of snow. And if you look at what they would have prior to that, it's just about 5 inches of snow. So they could get close to 2 feet with this system. And there are definitely double digits. Here's Minneapolis at almost 14 inches of snow. So we'll watch this. I guess I could do one more little, let's see. We can see how that system pans out, actually. All right. So here is the current system rolling its way through. And then here comes the Sunday little blurb. Tuesday's little blurb. And then here comes this pretty well organized. I mean, look at how it just hammers the mountains. The mountains are going to get 2-3 feet of snow easily, maybe 4 feet of snow easily. And then it takes aim on the Midwest, taps into Gulf moisture. Unfortunately, a lot of the Gulf moisture doesn't join it fully, because look at that. juice. But still, like I say, enough moisture in there to produce at least a foot of snow, pretty widespread. All right, let's see what the GFS has in its offering. That's today's storm, pretty similar outlay, 6 to 8 inches. And then we have Sunday's little deal and Tuesday's little deal. And then here comes the Wednesday, Thursday. And it actually is maybe a little bit more aggressive with the totals across, I don't know, what would you call this? Mille-Lacs region of Minnesota. It's not northern, it's not central. I guess it's kind of central Minnesota. Anyway, and then northern Wisconsin into the UP. And then beyond that, actually even more systems come through and just keep piling it up and making it brighter and brighter and brighter. So, I guess the bullet points for today are some pretty decent snows in southeastern Iowa, extreme northwest Illinois, southeast Wisconsin, and central and northern sections of lower Michigan, 6 to 8 inches of snow. It's not an end-all be-all storm, but put some fresh down. And then Friday, Saturday are dry relatively. Unfortunately, Saturday it looks like be a pretty big warm up, and most areas of the Midwest will warm above freezing. Boo-hoo. And then we'll settle back, temperatures back down as we go through Sunday and next week. And a little bit of light snows in the Northwoods Sunday into Monday, maybe finishing up on Tuesday. And then the potential big storm. I would love to say that this is a really, really good chance of this storm happening. I just want to be cautious at this point because I think a lot of eyes will be on it, a lot of hopes will be on it, and I don't want to be dashing hopes just yet. The fact is we're still about 7 days away as you count them out. Not a week away from them starting, but 7 days in time away from that storm starting in the west. And you know what? That means changes can and most likely will happen. I think some kind of a storm will pan out. It's just a matter of how big it is and all of the finer details to it. So not quite time to latch on to this bugger with both hands. We'll definitely keep an eye on things, stay optimistic about it, but not get too carried away with its potential. I was really hoping to take tomorrow off, but because now we have that storm, I won't, folks. I wouldn't do that to you. So stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow. Have yourself a great day. Drive carefully in those snow areas. Don't drive like an idiot. Just slow down a little bit. That's all it is. Slowing down a little bit. Giving yourself a little bit of extra time to brake. Yeah, four-wheel drive is great, but four-wheel stopping is the same. It's not any better. And keep those sticks on the ice.